Hello, everyone. Welcome to the football channel, to this football podcast. Now, the Premier League season has concluded, and the final day was a couple of days ago, and I'm going to talk to you about the events that have happened. We've seen Swansea. They came into the final day hoping to produce one of the greatest survival comebacks of all time to survive the drop. I think they had to beat Stoke, an already relegated Stoke 4-0, and hope that Man City beat Southampton by 6 goals or something if they were to survive. So if they would have pulled that off, it would have been very remarkable. But they didn't. They didn't even win the game. They lost to Stoke 2-1. That means they've gone down, and Southampton stay up, even though they lost 1-0. So, it was the game last week that was crucial, but in retrospect, both these teams, Swansea and Southampton, have dropped a lot. Both have had disappointing seasons. Swansea looked good at one stage. They beat Liverpool and they smashed West Ham, but they seem to have lost their way over recent weeks, and that's why they've been relegated. And Southampton, a pretty disappointing season. I think 2 seasons ago they finished 6th, which is a good achievement, but there's definitely room to improve for them if they want to stay up next season. And I also want to take the time to congratulate Huddersfield for staying up. They stayed up by a draw with Chelsea nearly a week ago. A player from Australia, which is where I'm from, Aaron Moy, he plays for them, and I'm very happy for Huddersfield in their first season in a long time in the English top division, and they've stayed up, so they should be very proud of themselves. David Wagner has done really well with them. And also Brighton have also stayed up. They've got an Australian goalkeeper as well, Matty Ryan, who I've met personally. Good guy, and they deserve credit for staying up. And Newcastle, how good are they? They've been rejuvenated big time under Rafa Benitez. He took them over when they pretty much went down in 2016. He got them back up in 2017, not convincingly, but they secured automatic promotion. And this season, they've done well. They finished in the top 10, which is a great achievement for them, and things are looking up for them. And a few key players, I think, for Newcastle: Dwight Gale, good player, and John Joe Shelby. He's a really good player, and I think he should be in the England team. So, well done to them. And speaking of Newcastle, they smashed Chelsea 3-0. They smashed them, absolutely hammered them. Chelsea, they miss out on the Champions League. They go to the Europa League next season, which they won back in 2013. Ironically, it was Rafa Benitez who coached that Chelsea team. But Chelsea have dropped off a lot this season. They're not as good as what they were last season. They've performed well below par, and it's pretty obvious that they missed Diego Costa because he's a very clinical goal scorer, and he was very pivotal for them winning the EPL in 2017 and even 2015. Now, I heard on the Chelsea fans channel, and by the way, it's a really good 100% Chelsea, or I think what that's called. And by the way, they've got a really good channel, 100% Chelsea. I'm not a Chelsea fan, but I enjoy watching their videos, and they deserve congratulations and they deserve praise. But they said, it's not as good. It's worse now than it was back in 2016 when they finished 10th. Someone said, because the team could have. I think the team had more potential to bounce back, but this team doesn't, and I think that's true because Diego Costa's a massive loss, but I think their best player, and I think he's one of the best midfielders in the world, is N'Golo Kante. He's a superstar. Australia's going to really struggle against him. By the way, I've got World Cup predictions coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, give me very interesting times at Chelsea and Liverpool. As a Man United fan, I'm not a big Liverpool fan to say the least. They're one of my least favourite teams, if not my least favourite team, Liverpool. But they are in the Champions League and they deserve to be in the top 4. They've improved a lot under Klopp. It seemed for a while there that Jurgen Klopp was spending money but underachieving. But this season He's got the best out of his players, and in particular, Mo Salah. He's broken the goal scoring record for most goals in an English Premier League season. He broke the record set by Alan Shearer, Cristiano Ronaldo, Man United legend, amazing player, and of course Liverpool's own Luis Suarez from 4 years ago. He's smashed that record, and he's a very good player. Jurgen Klopp has used him very well. He's got very good pace. He's got great eye for goal, and he actually definitely reminds me of Cristiano Ronaldo back for Man United back in 2008 when they won the EPL title and the UEFA Champions League. So, yeah, he's a great player, Mo Salah, a brilliant player, one of the best in the world at the moment, and he's going to be very important for Egypt. And if they're a chance of going far into the World Cup. And speaking of the Champions League, Liverpool are in the Champions League final. It's a great achievement for them. They lost Coutinho, but everyone else has stepped up. Got Roberto Firmino, a great player. Mane's a great player. And everyone else has definitely contributed, but those three in my opinion, are Liverpool's best players. And another high achiever this season is Burnley, finishing in the Europa League. It's gone a bit unnoticed, and I think the reason why it's gone a bit unnoticed, just remember, Burnley only got promoted 2 seasons ago, and they had 2 seasons in the Premier League before that in 2010 and 2015, and they didn't stay up in either of them. So, yeah, they should be very proud of themselves, Burnley, but the reason why it's probably hasn't got the attention that it's deserved is because of what Leicester did 2 seasons ago when they came from nearly being relegated the year before to winning the title out of absolutely nowhere. And that's why I think Burnley's achievement has gone a bit unnoticed. And we've also had to farewell, Arsenal have had to farewell a legend, one of their best coaches in the history, if not the best Arsenal coach ever, and one of the best coaches the Premier League has ever seen in Arsene Wenger. What can you say? Arsenal is, I think, from his first decade or so in charge, Arsenal did very, very, very well. They won a lot. They won 3 league titles. They won quite a few FA Cups, and they made the Champions League final. And they went a whole season unbeaten, the only team to ever go the entire Premier League season without a loss. And Arsene Wenger has always kept Arsenal consistent. He's always been very consistent. Probably, at times he underachieved a little bit. I think there are times where Arsenal could have picked up trophies, but they didn't. But nevertheless, Arsene Wenger is a legend, and he deserves a good send-off, and I'm happy that Arsenal got that 1-0 over an already safe Huddersfield. But the team that's really stood out this year has been Man City. They've just run right this season in the Premier League, and they deserve their success. Pep Guardiola deserves a lot of credit for that because he's gotten the best out of this very talented squad. He changed the goalkeeper because Claudio Bravo, wasn't working out that well. He wasn't working as good as what Guardiola had probably hoped, and he put in Anderson, I think his name is, and he's been really good. Defensively, they've looked pretty solid, but it's the attack. Fernandinho is very underrated. He's very like an underrated unsung hero because he's a pretty solid defensive midfielder, and he's going to be very important for Brazil. But what I was going to say before, then I interrupted myself by talking about how good Fernandinho has been this season, is the attack, the attacking midfielders. The attacking midfielders and strikers, they've just been amazing. David Silva's been great. Kevin De Bruyne. I think Mo Salah has obviously been the best player in the Premier League this season, but Kevin De Bruyne has definitely got to be second. He is amazing. He's an absolute amazing, talented player, a very intelligent player, and You've also got Sane, a really good young talent, got a lot of speed, and another player that's really talented as well, and he's been very clinical in front of goals. He's scored a lot of goals. Is Raheem Sterling. He's hasn't been as good as what everyone had probably hoped in the last few seasons, but this season, Raheem Sterling has been brilliant. And of course, you can't talk about Man City without mentioning their goal scorers. Gabriel Jesus, he scored. He's had an injury, but nevertheless, he's still been a very good goal scorer. And Sergio Aguero, he's a very talented player. And he's been very good this season. He's just kept. At times, he was dropped to the bench at one point, but still, Sergio Aguero has kept in decent form. I think he scored about 21 Premier League goals this season, so he has definitely contributed, and Man City are very lucky to have him as a player. But nevertheless, this Premier League season has been a decent one. Probably, I think, better than the 2017 season in terms of entertainment and excitement, but not as good as the 2016 season, because Leicester winning that title out of absolutely nowhere would have to be the best achievement, or the most dramatic story in Premier League history. But nevertheless, it's been a good season. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and there's more videos to come. Thank you.